Okay, mate. HMSTR, yeah, very new coin. I didn't even have it on my list, to be honest. Haven't updated my list in a few days or whatever. But yeah, I don't normally like to trade these new coins like this. Sometimes you can, these bounces can be small and you can keep dropping. I need to look more into it. There is a bullish stop on here, so obviously it was bullish above that here, and it is still bullish. There's no, I don't want to say it's not bullish or anything, but it is technically still bullish here until we get some sort of failure. But it looks like that this could continue, coming up here. In the meantime, it's up 2%. As long as it stays on the daily green, as long as it stays bullish on the daily. Now, again, I don't know if you mean long term, short term, the 5-minute time frame, 10-minute time frame. So, of course, we don't have weekly time frames or anything, but there is a nice spike in volume right there. Those spike in volumes can give that bit of a sell-off. If you're looking to scalp it, you can get this kind of move up here, and then you got that drop. I suppose there was a 2% drop if you're trying to short on that. You can see the high volume up here, where we got this one up here, and there was a decent 7% drop coming off there. So yeah, it is looking okay for now. I'm weary of these at times, but as long as we're bullish, as long as we're above that level here, there is a slight bullishness to it. If we flip to the 3-day chart, you can see, we took liquidity down here, we popped up with flip green. Yeah, sorry mate, I got a phone call in the middle of doing that. So you can see it's actually, pushing up here. This is the thing, it's green there on the 3-day, and it is trying to break out. It is trying to push up. It's put in this base. It has a stop hunt. In a way, you could buy here and put a stop below the daily low. It needs to stay green. Again, I don't know what sort of time frame you're looking to be trading. Sometimes because this is such a new coin, sometimes you do get real reversals and get that bounce back up to there even before going to new lows, for example. So there could be a multi-day run here before flipping over. Of course, we've got to keep that war in mind at the moment. If that news hits again, well, there may be some downside in the market. Green on the 3-day. Here's the kicker, right? This is still red, right? The weekly is still red, and that is not what you want to see to be taken along. Now, that may need consolidation or whatever, and then maybe we'll pop up next week to fill the wick up here. So that is not going in your favor, by taking that long. It's also red on the month, which is also red on the 3-month. So let's just put that here, and just want to see exactly where that is. Yeah, so it's the drop here, right? Okay, that's your major resistance point. So there is a chance it could kind of run into that. But I want to also put the weekly. Well, the weekly's above that. All right. Okay. So yeah, there is your two major resistance points. The chart is bearish, obviously below those two lines. There can be bounces up into that, but you definitely need to be careful in case it does that. Personally, I'm not a huge fan because of the, I suppose because of the risk. It's okay. I don't mean to be too negative about it, but for me, you would need to. Let me just find this. You would need to be, if you're looking to buy here, maybe if this gives a dip down and back down in here, there is a chance then you could take that long, and put your stop below here possibly. I don't know if you want to take that much risk, but you could trade smaller and put your stop below here and look to see if this is going to run, 7%, and your weekly and monthly open is up there. So can it run up that far? Well, it is a new coin. They definitely do surprise sometimes with strength. So you didn't give me any thoughts on are you small term, short term scalping, long term, or anything like that. if you're looking to try and trade it, I'd like to see a dip here and then try and trade that higher. Ideally, if you want to keep a very tight stop, you keep your stop below this daily low, which then brings it down to about 2% risk. You could try something like that. As far as being bullish on longer term time frames, you know, I don't like this until a new week. If you really want to look at that, I don't really like it until a new week, because, you know, we're red here with 3 days left. Why is this not flip red all week? It makes it harder with only 3 days left coming into the weekend, when Sunday is often a bearish day, to try and get long on this. So for me, the upside may be limited, and it's not my favorite setup on a new week. You know, if it could stop on the lows, or if it could take liquidity down here or something like that and pop up and flip green, you know, that's the way I prefer to trade it, and see if you can run. But the big question you have to ask yourself, is this going to flip green on the weekly? And so the weekly is up here and the monthly is the lower one. So, you know, there is, if it's going to flip green, that's what you have to ask yourself. Is it going to flip green on a month? That is a 13% bounce. Or is it going to flip green on a weekly? I mean, I don't think it's going to flip green on the weekly. Could it surprise me? Of course. You know, there's a 13 or 15% bounce to flip green on the week. And I need to get this video out to you, because it's a 15% bounce. You know, as I mentioned there, a small dip here, as this is building out the range, potentially could get long and see where this goes and keep a fairly tight stop on it. If you want to keep an extreme tight stop on it, well, you can use that previous low here, right on there. You could use this low for a stop, because if it's a true uptrend, there's a good chance you're not going to take out the lows. I was trying to find like, this is a small uptrend, but you can see the entire way you don't really take out the lows, and it continues to go higher. This has never had an uptrend yet, really. You know, it took out higher lows here, higher lows, and then it failed. So that's just some thoughts. I think there could be some upside. I don't think it's going to flip green on the week. If you want to trade it, you know, that's the way I would probably trade it there. Or you could get long now and have your stop below the daily open if you prefer that. Gives a little bit more room here to try and run. My other concern that I just want to point out now before I close this video out is this large volume, right? So when you get large volume, sometimes price likes to go above the large volume and fail before getting a move down. So it's good to watch for rejections above here. But the chart does look like it should have some upside here. I would also watch this trend line. As you can see here, we are trying to break out of it. If it does consolidate into here, you know, dip into here, and it breaks this, well, you know, maybe it might give that run. The resistance point you could say is up here. If you start to break out the first resistance point, that is up there with the weekly open and the monthly open. Before I got this phone call and started looking at it, I think this is up about 1% almost already. So I'll just get this video out to you. Personally, I prefer this on a new week, but you know, it could surprise me.